Have you ever wondered, were there really female Viking warriors? A question that has intrigued historians and enthusiasts alike for years. To answer this, let's take a step back, about 1,000 years back, to the Viking Age. It was an era that spanned from the late 8th to the early 11th century, a time when Norse seafarers left their homelands in Scandinavia to venture across Europe, Asia, and even North America. But who were these Vikings really? What was their society like? Traditionally, Vikings are often depicted as a patriarchal society, where men were the warriors, explorers, and rulers. They were the ones who sailed the seas, raided lands, and brought back wealth and glory. Meanwhile, the women of Viking society were seen as the caretakers, managing the home and raising the children. But is this the complete picture? The question of female Viking warriors has been a subject of debate for quite some time. It challenges the conventional belief of male dominance and introduces a potential paradigm shift in our understanding of Viking society. The image of a Viking woman wielding a sword, standing shoulder to shoulder with her male counterparts on the battlefield, is a powerful one. It breaks the mold of traditional gender roles and brings forth a narrative that is both empowering and intriguing. But is it factual? The answer to that is complex. It's a puzzle that historians and archaeologists have been trying to piece together using a combination of historical texts, archaeological findings, and scientific research. The existence of female Viking warriors is not universally accepted. Some argue that the evidence is too circumstantial, while others believe it's a reality that has been overlooked due to traditional gender biases. As we delve deeper into the past, we find evidence that might surprise us. So buckle up as we journey back to the Viking Age and explore the intriguing possibility of female Viking warriors. Let's question the known and venture into the unknown. Let's challenge the norms and rethink the past. Because history, as we know it, might not be as black and white as it seems. Archaeology often gives us a glimpse into the past that words fail to provide. Now, let's delve into the archaeological findings that hint at the existence of female Viking warriors. Picture this. The late 19th century, Scandinavian archaeologists stumble upon an intriguing grave. The grave, richly adorned with various weapons, a sword, an axe, a couple of spears, and horses, suggested that it belonged to a high-ranking warrior. For over a century, this Viking warrior was presumed to be male because of the martial items found. Fast forward to the 21st century, a team of researchers decided to revisit this grave. In 2017, using the marvels of modern science, they conducted a DNA test on the skeletal remains. Can you imagine their surprise when the results came back? The warrior, buried with all the honors of a high-ranking military leader, was not a man, but a woman. This revelation was nothing short of groundbreaking. It shook the very foundations of our understanding of Viking society. It challenged the traditional narrative that painted the Vikings as a patriarchal society, where the roles of men and women were clearly demarcated. The discovery of a female Viking warrior opened up the possibility that women in Viking society may have had more diverse roles than previously thought. This finding also raised intriguing questions. Was this woman an exception, or were there more female warriors in the Viking Age? Was she a member of the legendary Shieldmaidens, the mythical band of women warriors mentioned in the sagas? Or was her burial a unique circumstance, a result of her elevated status or personal preferences? The answers to these questions are still unclear, and the debate continues to rage on. But one thing is certain, this discovery has forever changed our perception of the Viking world. It has shown us that women might have wielded swords alongside men, challenging the enemy on the battlefield. This discovery challenged traditional beliefs and opened up a new realm of possibilities. Every discovery brings with it a new set of questions and debates, and the uncovering of a possible female Viking warrior was no exception. As the dust settled from the excavation, a storm of controversy began to brew. The very idea of a female Viking warrior challenged long-held assumptions about the roles of women in Viking society, sparking a heated academic tug-of-war. Some scholars, looking at the same set of artifacts, have argued that they might have been misinterpreted. They propose that the presence of weapons in the grave does not necessarily mean the person buried was a warrior. After all, Vikings were known to bury their dead with items that held symbolic significance. Could these weapons not simply be symbolic grave goods, a tribute to the martial culture of the Vikings? Others have questioned the very gender of the skeleton, suggesting that the initial identification was flawed. They point to the fact that determining gender from skeletal remains can be tricky, especially since Viking women were known to be physically robust. On the other side of the debate, some scholars stand firmly by the claim of the existence of female Viking warriors. These proponents argue that the combination of the warrior grave goods, the strategic location of the burial, and the physical wear and tear on the skeleton are all consistent with the life of a warrior. They also point to historical texts mentioning female Viking warriors, known as Shieldmaidens, as further evidence supporting their stance. The controversy has only fueled further research, with new techniques and methodologies being employed to shed light on this fascinating subject. From detailed osteological analysis to DNA testing, the science is becoming more refined and our understanding of the Viking world more nuanced. The debate continues, but it's clear that our understanding of Viking society is evolving. As we delve deeper into the past, we are forced to reassess our preconceptions, opening up a whole new world of possibilities. And perhaps, just perhaps, we are closer to confirming the existence of the legendary Viking Shieldmaidens. Amidst the debate, the legend of the Shieldmaidens stands tall. These mythical female Viking warriors, known as Shieldmaidens, have been etched into our collective consciousness, persisting through the ages as symbols of strength, courage, and defiance. The term shield maiden is derived from the Old Norse word skjaldmeyr, meaning shield maid. These women were said to have fought alongside men in battles, their skills in combat matching, if not surpassing, their male counterparts. They discarded traditional gender roles, choosing instead the path of the warrior, a path fraught with danger and uncertainty, but also one of honor and glory. The legends of shield maidens are not just confined to ancient sagas and folklore. They have seeped into modern culture, influencing our conception of women in history and shaping our narratives of female empowerment. Notably, these warrior women have been immortalized in popular media, captivating audiences worldwide. Take, for example, the hit TV show Vikings. Lagertha, a central character in the series, is portrayed as a formidable shield maiden. She is strong, brave, and fiercely independent, embodying the spirit of these legendary warriors. Her character has, in many ways, redefined our understanding of Viking society, challenging the conventional image of Viking women as mere homemakers. But it's not just in television where shield maidens have made their mark. Their influence extends to literature, video games, and comic books, among others. They serve as a testament to women's strength and resilience, a reminder that women, too, can be warriors. Yet it's important to remember that the shield maidens, whether real or not, are more than just characters in a story. They represent a broader cultural phenomenon, a shift in societal norms and expectations. They challenge our notions of femininity, pushing us to rethink our definitions of what it means to be a woman, to be a warrior. In this sense, the legacy of the shield maidens goes beyond the battlefield. It permeates our culture, our beliefs, and our values, leaving a lasting imprint on our collective psyche. Whether real or mythical, the shield maidens have left a lasting impact on our perception of Viking society. And so, they continue to live on, not just as warriors, but as icons of female empowerment. So, the question remains, were there really female Viking warriors? Let's take a moment to revisit the journey we've embarked upon. We've explored the rich tapestry of the Viking era, a time when seafaring Norsemen dominated the northern European landscape. We've delved into the crux of archaeological findings, unearthing a wealth of knowledge from the graves of Viking warriors, where we've discovered not only male, but also what appears to be female remains, armed with weapons of war. We've navigated the stormy seas of controversy, where scholars and historians continue to lock horns over the interpretation of these findings. Some argue that the presence of weaponry does not necessarily denote a warrior, while others contend that these were indeed battle-hardened women who fought alongside their male counterparts. And we've paid homage to the legacy of the shield maidens, these legendary female warriors from the sagas of old, whose tales of valor and bravery continue to inspire us. Their stories, passed down through generations, paint a vivid picture of women who were not just homemakers, but also warriors, who held their ground in the face of adversity. So were there female Viking warriors? The answer, it seems, hinges on a delicate balance between archaeological evidence and historical interpretation. Could these women have been warriors, wielding their weapons with the same fierce courage as their male counterparts? Or were they simply buried with these weapons as symbols of status and power? The possibility of the existence of female Viking warriors pushes us to reassess our understanding of Viking society. It challenges the notion that the Viking world was an exclusively male domain, opening up a new perspective that recognizes the potential roles and contributions of women. While the debate continues, one thing is clear: the Viking society might not have been as male-dominated as we once believed, and perhaps the legend of the Shieldmaidens is not just a myth, but a testament to the strength and courage of Viking women.